Guys, hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Today we're gonna react on another person. But how's the person called again? The person is called Sydney Watson. And I wanna watch it. I never watched it. So we're gonna hop in today in Sydney Watson. Pet acceptance is over. Let's see. Let's hop in.
Well, I guess another one bites the dust. Hi, my name is Sydney. Welcome back to hell. Just a reminder once again, for those of you who don't know, 50% off on my tea website, Lions Tea Exchange, for the flavors Earl Grey, New York Breakfast, and Emerald Green, because they are expiring, although tea doesn't really expire, at the end of November. I don't want to throw them out, so I would love for you guys to go and check them out. If you haven't bought tea already, go and do so because they're very tasty. Use the code We Don't Waste. Okay, let's do the video. So, my little baby birds, fat acceptance, the thing that has dominated almost everything for the last decade or so. Whether we'd asked for it or not, which most of us haven't. Also, don't any of you judge the way that I am holding this mug. It is both
By the way, she has a very big tea can, isn't it? A very big tea can.
heavy and hot. Ironically, all the things that fat acceptance women wish they were. Hello, cherub children, editing Sydney from the future here. I just realized that the last fat acceptance movement video that I made, I wore this exact same shirt. And it's entirely a coincidence that I did it again. I own different clothes, I promise, but I guess going forward, this is going to be the fat acceptance shirt, so there's that. I just wanted to acknowledge it because I thought it was funny. But this has been a movement that's been quite challenging to escape. From fat models going down runways to taking up magazine covers.
I mean, I also respect them, but I think always it's not good for health, isn't it?
And billboards, the modeling industry itself has grown bigger, with plus size models comprising of 26% of all models at major fashion week events globally as of 2025. Fat activists went so hard that the fashion industry even started making fat mannequins. As fat acceptance and body positivity blew up online, activists on TikTok created an entire intersectional hierarchy of fatness. You've heard about fat phobia, but have you heard about skinny supremacy? And yes, I traded out the T because this is light and skinny, sort of.
And I think that's what it is. You have to constantly uphold thinness as supremacy. Even if it means you are in telling them, oh, you're so much better now, you're like shitting on yourself. That's the other reason I don't do it, because I don't want to say thinness is inherently better, because that means I'm inherently worse.
And my personal favorite.
I think it is better to be smaller with the body. Yeah, because of health.
The BMI scale is racist.
Especially if you're a white woman like myself, is how our participation in diet culture and the pursuit of the thin ideal is a form of racism. It's upholding the white supremacist ideals. It's really important that we see that we are participating in this supremacy culture and in the body hierarchy by continuing our obsession with thinness. And so if you want to learn more about this, Google the bizarre and racist roots of the BMI.
They teach this stuff at universities. You guys know. In case you needed another reason to go become a plumber. For the last number of years, fat activists have even argued that they shouldn't have to purchase an additional.
In fact, I should not have to buy 2 seats on a plane. But they need 2 seats, didn't they? Because yeah, yeah. I don't know how to say it. I don't want to say something wrong because I accept everything. And
Seat on airplanes if they're too big for just one. As a result, airline companies like Southwest even offered free additional seats for plus-size passengers by allowing them to request refunds after the fact or request a free extra seat upon arriving at the airport. Fun fact, the Air Carrier Access Act may actually consider obesity a disability because it substantially limits things, like traveling. That's gonna be a no from me there, champ. And let's not forget my own experience flying fat, where I was sat betwixt two very large individuals whose fat rolls were touching my body. I can see now, not great, not my favorite. And apparently that story went viral. I guess it was a, slow news week that week or something. I won't lie to you all, I have been on the internet for a minute, and I always find the
I mean, myself, I'm not the smallest person. I wanna be flatter, but I'm on a good way to be flatter. Alone because of my health. My health will be bad when I'm not flat. You know what I mean? When I'm not flatter on my body.
stupidest things that I do are the things that go viral. Not the thought out, thoughtful things that I put into the world, the stupid stuff. Like me getting sat on by a fat. I wrote about that experience for Newsweek, of all places, for the love of God. Anyway, we have been blasted with these things and many, many more for quite a long time in an effort to promote different body types and get away from the heroin chic of the 2000s. Heroin is in. Not the,
A flatter on my stomach. Just my stomach. Nothing else. My rest of my body can be big, but just my stomach, you know?
oh, I'm gonna fight a dragon. But like everything else that I've talked about in this series, and yes, me talking about these movements ending is a series now,
Just my
the
weight.
overemphasis on being terribly overweight, the normalization of being terribly overweight, is coming to an end. And it's for very similar reasons to the deaths of the LGBT movement, the gender ideology movement, the trans movement, and so on. In part, people have simply gotten sick of it, and the more people who've gotten sick of it, the more the companies have followed suit. Southwest is walking back its free seating policies, and I'm actually pretty sure that other airlines are doing exactly the same thing. Other companies have wiped their body positivity web pages and shifted away from body positivity in fashion and advertising. And would you actually look at the state of advertising? We're back to the models and celebrity vibes of the 2000s, which were quite thin. But more importantly, I don't
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. They're quite thin.
think your average person actually wants to be fat. Like a portion of them do because there's some weird fetish.
Yeah, but I don't know. Why is a person want a fat woman? Or why are they want to be fat? Because it's still not good for health. It's it's 100% not good for health. You have maybe that fatter you are, that more is your health better. It's going to be bad and bad and bad. That fatter you are.
Stuff around that, but your average person does not want to be overweight. It doesn't feel good, no matter how much you tell the rest of us that you love your rolls.
You sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that?
Right now, there's a third reason, and arguably the biggest reason why all of this is taking place. Kind of hilariously, this era of body positivity and fat acceptance was reasonably short-lived, because as soon as people could achieve the bodies they truly wanted with a lot less effort than previously thought, it became clear
Yeah, I think this is a good transition every time when when a fat person is getting flatter. It's a very good transition. I love it. I love to watch it because it motivates persons to get flatter as well.
that body positivity was always a cope. And thanks to the rise of weight loss drugs like Ozempic and Wegovy, the death of this movement has only accelerated. You know, not needing to diet or do that pesky exercise to get the bikini body of your dreams is probably quite appealing to most people. But it is really interesting to consider how much these drugs are changing the game. As many of you know, I use Ground News for my research and found on their website that even Pfizer has just purchased a company that will bring injectables to market. There's other reporting at the moment that says that these kind of drugs are being used as a quick fix. It's really interesting how most of these stories are being covered by the center, according to Ground News, given how polarizing obesity is. But if I went to any other topic that I've spoken about recently, like Irina Zarutska's murder, just for example, you can see just how biased the reporting is. From just a week ago, we see North Carolina legislature passing Irina's law, which has mostly been covered by right-wing outlets. That's probably not very surprising to any of you. The first headline here from the left that we see is about J.D. Vance blaming Democrats for the stabbing, whereas right-wing outlets are using headlines about cashless bail and the death penalty, which is what the law is about, not about J.D. Vance. So it really does go to show how these issues get covered by both sides of the aisle and where the biases are. These type of stories always seem to skew to one side or the other, and I know I've harped on this for ages, but it's why it's so important to take the time to educate yourself about what's happening in the news, and this is why Ground News is such a good friend of this channel. We know things are getting more polar.
Yeah, crowd news seems to be a really good when you wanna read news. What I'm sadly I don't read news that much, but when you wanna read news, then this is a right place to do it.
Right, so it is necessary to have websites like Ground News cutting through all of that. They show you news bias, they let you compare stories, they show you blind spots in the news that you consume, but more importantly, I really encourage you to support them, not only because they have been a long-time supporter of this channel, but because what Ground News is and what Ground News does is so needed during this time. They're subscriber funded, so your support is what keeps them going, and I want to make that really clear. So I strongly encourage you to support Ground News and support what they're trying to do by clicking the link in the description, scanning the QR code on screen, or going to ground.news/Sydney and subscribing through my link for 40% off their Vantage plan, which is the same plan that I use for unlimited use. But here's the kicker, right? And it's something that most of you can probably guess. As the fat acceptance, body positivity movements are nosediving, people in this community are absolutely livid. Influencers and celebrities who built empires on Big is Beautiful, who promoted self-love and wanted to fight fat phobia, are now posting about their size 4 glow.
See, that is much prettier than the other persons. And when you're flatter, it's much prettier
Ups, leaving
in
fans
my
feeling
eyes.
betrayed, to put it mildly. And the comment sections on former fat influencers' videos, which were once full of pro-fat positivity, are now absolutely horrific. Now, because I have discussed the origin points of the fat acceptance / body positivity movements before, I would like to quickly reiterate some of that for those of you who don't know, but if you are interested in more information on that, I will link those videos in the description box. Fat activism started all the way back in the 60s. There was a growing backlash to the body messaging of the 40s and 50s that expected women to maintain a tiny frame, take weight loss medication, and stay in perfect shape all of the time, which is impossible. The 70s and 80s gave people extreme diet culture, like the cabbage soup diet that requires people to basically eat nothing.
I hope you're hungry for nothing.
Please enjoy your serving of air.
I hope you're hungry for nothing. No, that's also not good. You have to eat something that's not make you directly, but not have that much calories. And when it has calories, then good calories, like what's very good for your health, and not what's very bad for your health. What has very much fat in this, but yeah.
Around the same time, products like SlimFast popularized the liquid diet craze, and group weight loss programs like Weight Watchers and Jenny Craig were quickly gaining popularity. Eating disorders were on full display in celebrities, and it didn't sit too well with a portion of the population. This gave rise to healthy at every size and body positivity, the latter arguing that basically you should accept yourself, faults and all. And soon, the same companies who got popular and were once praised for helping people lose unwanted weight were now being accused of body shaming and using toxic, unhealthy tactics. But with the rise of the internet, Tumblr, and Reddit, body positivity morphed and changed, and eventually gave way to fat acceptance and the idea that fatness is beautiful. Fast forward to the 20
No, fatness is not beautiful. Fatness is everything but not beautiful. I'm sorry, but it is not. And it's not good for health.
with hashtags like fat and fabulous. Brands like Dove and Aerie jump on the bandwagon, pushing real bodies and plus size lines. But for a brief, beautiful moment, fat activists really believed here that their message was being widely received by a wider audience. Pun not intended, but welcomed. Obese models were on magazine covers, runways, and red carpets, and activists were all chanting fat is beautiful. And things continued on like this for some time, with
I feel fat. Yeah, when you are feeling fat, then do something about it. In my eyes, do something about it.
micro communities gaining speed and size on TikTok, giving us some of the most insane videos that I have shown you over the years. Discussions around fatness made their way into everything: racism, ableism, and it was absorbed by the overall progressive movement. But with most things in 2025, all of this went too far, and for us normies out there, it became a little bit too much. Because much as it pains some people to hear this, there is such a thing as too many roles. And I would argue the vast majority of people yearn to be fit and healthy and able to run upstairs. And once again, and do
Yeah, that's true. When you're a little bit fatter, I I say it respectfully. When you're a little bit fatter, you can't walk that much anymore. You just have to breathe every time when you are walking. And yeah, for myself, I don't wanna breathe every time when I walk. So it's really not good. And you have to feel very, very bad for it. You know? You have to feel very bad. I don't know why people are liking that.
not yell at me in the comments for saying this, it's just my opinion. I would argue that a lot of people who jumped on the fat acceptance bandwagon did so because it's a cope. Weight loss for so many people is incredible.
Oh yeah, and by the way, do I feel a little bit healthier now? Because I'm not that sick anymore. I'm still a little bit sick, but it's just my nose. That's why I sounding a little bit, little bit deeper with my voice. But it's just my nose. It's not anything else anymore. So finally, I recover.
Challenging, and I'm not going to deny that. You know, we have very sedentary lifestyles. A lot of people do struggle to eat properly just because a lot of American food is highly addictive, has lots of additives, bad additives in it that is not good for you, that leads to rapid weight gain. So in some ways, it is easier to jump on board a movement that co-signs laziness and makes excuses for you not looking the
But I have to say, I getting earlier tired, but it's because I sleep every time, every time earlier than before. That's why I'm tired. My sleep rhythms has to be good again or like before, but I guess it will need a time if when that your sleep rhythm is getting good again. And I'm sorry, but I just wanna say it. I just wanna say it. I was thinking it will be good to know, but now we gonna act. We continue to act. I'm sorry, guys.
the way that you want to look. You know, remember the whole dieting is fat phobic and fatness is genetic stuff? Me too. Me too, fam. But then there appeared seemingly an easier way out of obesity that didn't involve any massive lifestyle changes or dietary changes or doing
Yeah, I think as well. Um, I will buy me stuff that I can do it, that I can work out or do yoga. I will buy me some stuff, and then I will do it. That I feel, but I have to say, I maybe I feel also a little bit tired because I have to say it. I'm not a fitness person, but I think when I a little bit thinner and a little bit stronger than or worked out, I will feel not that tired anymore. I think.
really anything significant at all. Ozempic, Wegovy, and Monjarno, which I think I'm saying wrong, but I don't care. GLP-1 drugs, as they're known, were supposed to help diabetics, but seem to have become Hollywood's cheat code for weight loss. These shots suppress your appetite so hard that you forget what a cheeseburger tastes like. Suddenly, Healthy at Every Size was out, and low-rise jeans were making a comeback. Angry fat activist writers began pumping out articles expressing how heroin chic was back in, and they couldn't understand why this was happening. But the change was already in motion, and rather than having to pretend that fat is beautiful and everybody enjoys being overweight, celebrities in particular could take these drugs and then lose weight with relative ease. Celebrities like Kim Kardashian were making massive changes. She downsized her famous BBL. Singer Lizzo was losing lots of weight.
I'm sorry, but having a BBL is is kinda good. It's kinda good.
And slimming down after promoting fat acceptance for years. And side note, she had to caption a TikTok video recently. Reminder, you can lose weight and still not be fat phobic. Trying so hard not to lose that audience that doesn't want her to be healthy. It's sad. That's really sad. Meghan Trainor, a musician who previously and proudly sang about not being a size 2, was suddenly and definitely a size 2. Even Weight Watchers started peddling GLP-1s. Recently on that front as well, sports star Serena Williams, of all people, has partnered with a GLP-1 weight loss company, which, you know, definitely wasn't in the bingo cards this year. She's actually been very busy lately complaining about cotton, as you do.
All right, everyone, how do we feel about cotton as decoration? Personally, for me, it doesn't feel great.
I don't know. Is cotton a good decoration or not? I'm not sure about it. I don't think it's that good.
So actually, it feels like no polish remover cotton, natural.
So yes, the body positivity movement was in fact co-opted by fat acceptance and morphed into the icky weird thing that we know it as today, which was turned into a bunch of slogans and hashtags, and then a bunch of brands jumped on board to take advantage of the
And again, when you wanna lose weight, you don't have to do do to to take something else. You have to work out or something to get thinner. You don't have to do something like that. You don't. Just work out or something and then don't eat that fa- that I'm sorry. Don't eat things what makes you fat or something.
momentum that they saw happening out in the world. But with these new miracle drugs, the narrative absolutely flipped. And just by the way, I don't want to get into my personal thoughts and feelings on these. I think this is another case where you as an individual have to decide for yourself if the risk is worth the reward, and nobody else can tell you if it is or isn't. Anyway, the new standard recently has become pretty clear that fatness isn't something to embrace anymore, it's actually something to be fixed. And as more and more people, particularly those in positions of power, so to speak.
Yeah, but for that, I think it's good that fatness is gonna be fixed, cause I can see it much enough. It's good for your health when you fix it. When you fix it, it's good for your health. You know? It's very good for your health when you fix it.
People who have large audiences, people who have a really big reach, have gotten thinner and thinner. Their audiences have not been taking this well. Remy Bader, a TikToker who built her brand on US size 16 clothing hauls, hyped up fans by telling them to just wear what they want. But she became the subject of ire after she dropped an enormous amount of weight via weight loss surgery. Not Ozempic, but still a medical intervention, so, you know, I'm gonna say that it fits. She stayed quiet about this for months, letting fans speculate, until she eventually revealed the truth on Khloe Kardashian's podcast. Her comment section was a war zone. Fans called her dishonest for not being upfront, feeling like she had abandoned them to be skinny. That's
To be honest, that looks better than she was fat. It looks much better than she was fat.
that's the long and short of it. More likely so she won't die of a heart attack at 40. But their reasons make sense too.
Yeah, that's right. You the 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 fact that you get a heart attack earlier when you're fatter, it's it's very good, the fact.
My guess, this experience was similar to that of fat influencer Rosie Blair, also known online as Rosie Beam, who I've discussed in previous videos. Back in January 2024, she posted about her weight loss journey, admitting to using Mounjaro, which is another one of these injections. In one post, she wrote that weight loss meant that she felt like she had access to a world that she was previously missing. She liked not being concerned about the size of seating out in the world. She liked flying without feeling worried, and she liked working on her cardiovascular health to achieve her dream body. Now, normal, well-adjusted people would see this as a good thing. Being healthy is a good thing. Having access to the world around you is a good thing. Being able to fit in the world around you is a good thing. But this poor woman's audience didn't see it that way. They accused her of fat phobia. They actually have said some very, very
Well, I think it's a good sign when you feel um you feel good for the world, or getting the key for the world. It's a good thing when you think it from yourself.
very awful things to her. They accused her of being ableist and suggested that she's suggesting that fat bodies can't function. I'm pretty sure that's a direct quote. Blair responded saying that she left the body positive community because she wanted to be more than her size. The backlash eventually got so intense that some fans suggested everyone collectively unfollowing her entirely. But this has been the experience.
I don't know, why are people unfollow her then? That's very weird. It's very weird. I mean, in the end, the person for herself have to be that good. Like, she has to feel good in her body, so she can do what she wants. She have to feel good in her body.
Experience of countless former fat activists and models and celebrities and what have you. Like Mindy Kaling. I've never said that word out loud, I've only ever read it, so not sure if I'm saying it right. Probably not, but I don't care. who has been accused of using Ozempic to get skinny because she lost a ton of weight really quickly, and therefore was accused by fans of promoting fat phobia. Or in 2024, Oprah Winfrey, of all people, who stepped down from her lead role at Weight Watchers after admitting to using weight loss drugs, dropped 60 pounds, which I think is like, what, 100?
Wow, 60 pounds. That is way much.
120 kilos in the correct system of measurement. Her ABC special, Shame, Blame, and the Weight Loss Revolution, pushed a stop shaming message while centering weight loss as empowerment. Fans here were very upset because
Yeah, that's right. That's right. They like to see someone like them because they are also like that. Yeah, but they have to remember that this is not good for your health. That will be not good for your health.
Oprah was supposed to be their OG fat positive icon, but obviously that quickly fell apart when she found a way out of obesity. So why does people losing weight, why does people bettering themselves, why do these weight loss drugs send the dying dregs of this movement into a complete tailspin? Well, a lot of these people built platforms on body positivity and fat acceptance, promoting an objectively terrible ideology that
I mean, when you look at this is not looking good. This is really not looking good. I'm sorry, I have to say it. This is not looking good. I mean, in the end, it's their choice, and I respect every everyone's thinking, but it's not looking good for me.
made people feel comfortable in their weight gain. Their weight loss, especially when it's quiet or framed as a health journey, feels like a middle finger to a community of people who want their own obesity reaffirmed. So it's not just about losing weight, it's about a huge cultural shift that's happening. One that signals that this movement never really had any legs to stand on to begin with and is now slowly falling apart. Fat influencers leaving the movement absolutely started some time ago, and after the deaths of several well-known creators who died of obesity-related issues, the departure has only accelerated.
See, when you hear it, they died because of something. Because they was fat, so they died. That's not. That's that's very sad. Because I think you can save yourself when you're getting healthier. That they have to remind it. They have to remind it. I think that's very sad. That's so sad to hear.
But honestly, it's not terribly hard to see why so many people feel abandoned by their favorite fat influencer, getting skinny and getting in shape, when psychology blogs are telling them it's completely valid to feel betrayed by weight loss? By the weight loss of their favorite online people. This stuff is so I
Much
hate
about
to
this
be the
again.
bearer of bad tidings, but it's not normal to feel this way. If anything, I think it's rooted in some deep seated insecurity and jealousy. The sort of, if I have to look like this, so do you type of thing. Which is ironic and interesting because that, in and of itself, has become this sort of new trendy school of thought because people forget that they don't actually have to be fat. What I think
Yeah, I think as well. People are forgetting that. I think it as well.
a lot of people here are actually mad about is the not so subtle reminder that if they wanted to improve, they could. Seeing someone bettering themselves, especially if they're doing it through regular channels like diet and exercise, and I guess actually to an even larger extent with these weight loss shots, because a lot of people view it as a cheat code, seeing people do these things and act like this serves as an example of all the things that this other group of people are not doing, but they could be doing if they wanted to, and it makes them feel bad. But instead of addressing the root causes of those very dysfunctional feelings and making positive changes to move through
Of course, but in the end, It's still my choice if I worked on it or not. Sketch.
Through the world with better ease. Instead, these group of people demand that everybody else acquiesce to them and make changes in order to accommodate their hefty size. Which isn't just unrealistic, it's impossible. The bottom line is that weight loss drugs are not new. And honestly, putting efforts forward, especially in the medical community, to address obesity is also not new, and they are making strides. I think every couple years something new comes out that helps people shed a bunch of weight, and then a couple years after that we find out that it makes you grow like extra toes or whatever. I know that on a statistical level people have been and are getting fatter, but I do think that we are going to see a big change there in coming years because we are returning to the aesthetics of the early 2000s especially, and that doesn't really in any way, shape, or form accommodate fat acceptance and body positivity in the messed up version that we find it these days. Being hot and cute and sexy is back in, and especially as the entertainment
I think that's very good. Being hot, being sexy, and being cute. It's three good signs. It's three good signs. And I have all three things. I'm sorry. I have to say something with self-love. Yeah, I talk about myself.
industry and celebrity culture and advertising and marketing move away from fat acceptance and body positivity, we're going to see a reemergence of attractive people everywhere in the coming years. And that is just my prediction, and I could be wrong, but 60% of the time I am right 100% of the time. Really early body positivity did have good intentions, but as with most movements, it was co-opted by insane people and weird initiatives, and that is why we are seeing it fall by the wayside. That is why we are seeing the death of fat acceptance, and honestly, I think this issue is only going to fall away further as the years progress. So in the end, I do think it's worth saying that I have so much respect for people who are trying to get in shape and lose weight. I think that's really cool. I think that is such
Yep. I I am in the same. I have the same. How's it called? The same. Forget it. Forget it. I think the same. So
a noble and good thing to be doing in this day and age. I think that there is no reason why you have to be fat, and if you are on a quest to get lean and healthy, that is awesome, and I genuinely wish all the best for you. But for
yep, yep. I I wish as well the best for people who are getting to lose weight and getting to be in shape. I have the I, I think I mean I wish as well the best of for them.
the rest of us, I am sure this is not the last that we will hear about the dying fat acceptance movement as it loudly and quickly falls apart. Now, on that note, and before I open the floor to all of you, this is just a reminder background news using the link in the description. They have been a long-time supporter of this channel, so I do encourage you to go and check out what they have to offer. They are doing something that is so necessary today, and I think that it's a really, really good idea that we support people who are making the news space better. Now, I open the
Yeah.
floor to all of you. What do you all think? What do you make of these weight loss drugs? Are you on board with them? Do you think they're a good thing? Do you think that they are a bad thing and we are going to learn in a number of years why they're a bad thing? Do you think that the fat acceptance movement is dying, that's falling out of favor?
I think that the drugs things are very bad because you can work out or eating something what's not making you fat, so it will be way easier. And and drugs are always bad, always. Any any type of drugs.
Because we are prioritizing cute and sexy and hot people again in media and in entertainment? Do you think that that's not really the case at all and that this is just a trendy thing? This is just everybody following trends, and fat acceptance will be back before we know it, and what you generally make of this issue overall. As always, if you have made it this far in the video, congratulations. I always like having you along for the full ride. If you are new here and you're not subscribed already and you would like to see more of me and more of this kind of content, feel free to subscribe to the channel as well.
I subscribed for the first time. I'm already subscribed. I was looking at a channel what I can rate, and I already subscribed there. But I can get a thumb up.
Giving this video a like and a comment because I do read the majority of them and I like hearing feedback. Except when you guys yell at me, that doesn't make me feel very nice. Of course, my little chicken
Cause yelling is not being good.
noodle heads, I hope you stay safe and well and make good choices. And if you are on your weight loss journey, make sure you go to the gym, go and lift up heavy things and put them back.
I don't go into the gym because I feel very awkward, so I will make a gym at my home.
Back down again, and I will see your wonderful little faces in the next video.
It was a very good, nice video. I loved it. I really loved it. I really love it. And I love to upload all 40 minutes what I make.